Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Coffeyville, Kansas, where today's contest. We had two games yesterday at KCK, and we've traveled down to Coffeyville for a couple of games today. Know that I'm streaming live, trying to do the video, but sometimes it says you may be experiencing buffering. If you prefer to just listen, you can go to MixLR, but both of those are on my website, 4tees.com. Go to Kansas City, Kansas Community College Blue Devils Baseball, and there'll be links there for both of those. So feel free to take a look at that and be able to take a look at the games today, and hopefully things will go well. We're up in the press box. Got a young man, CJ, up here that takes care of the scoreboard, and Connor Harbett, who is announcing the game here for Coffeyville, and his dad is a very good friend of mine, Mike Harbett. So, Mike, you ought to be checking us out today, maybe, and taking a look at what we have going on. But the two games yesterday were taken by the Blue Devils. They won the first one 15-5 and the second one 7-2. And then we strolled down here today to take a shot at two more games, and the Red Ravens will host the Blue Devils. We're getting ready to start that here in a few minutes. All natural field here, which I'm kind of a fan of the all natural field. It's an awful lot of work to take care of, but it is beautiful. So there, as you can see, for those of you that are on the live stream version of this, they're finishing watering down the infield to get this thing started. So today's lineups are as follows. First, for the visiting Blue Devils on the scoreboard, Cole Dawson, the shortstop, will lead off. Bosserman will be at second base. Parker Bosserman and bat second. Brendan Bard, the first baseman, will bat third. Pablo Sanchez, the designated hitter, will bat fourth. Palmer Hutchison, the third baseman, will bat fifth. Batting sixth, the center fielder, Caleb Adams. And in left field, batting seventh, Darius Freeman. Batting eighth, the catcher, Camden Carlin. Batting ninth, and in right field, Peyton McHarg, with his first start, I believe, of the games that I have called. And on the mound will be Cooper Carlgren. So it'll be Dawson, Bosserman, Bard, Sanchez, Hutchison, Adams, Freeman, Carlin, McHarg, with Carlgren on the mound. Now the starting lineups for the Red Ravens. Orlando Gonzalez will lead off at shortstop. Batting second, the second baseman, Drew Cates. Batting third, the third baseman, Quentin Carlberg. Batting fourth, Austin Gonzalez in left field. Batting fifth, Jackson Mannix at first base. Batting sixth, A.J. Kraft in center field. Tanner Graves will be behind the plate. He caught both games yesterday. He'll bat seventh. The designated hitter is Quentin Platt today. Batting ninth, Jack Bell in right field, and on the mound, Christopher Spry will be on the mound. We're going to take a short break, get ready to come back. Hope that the internet holds up and we're able to live stream, but if not, you can always go to the one that says, the link that says audio only, and bring up the MixLR. I'm trying to send it both there. So we'll see what happens. The coaches are going to get ready to come out and do the lineups, and we'll get this thing ready to go. So welcome today to the doubleheader. We're in Coffeyville. The sun is shining, a light breeze, but a beautiful day for a doubleheader. I'll be back. All right, here we go, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast today. Thank you for tuning in. We're trying something a little different today with sending it to the live stream video and the MixLR. Choose your poison for listening to me today and enjoy the broadcast, hopefully. On the mound today for the Red Ravens is a left-hander, Christopher Spry. He is from Drinks, Oklahoma. He has a 2.88 ERA in 25 innings pitched. Carlberg, Gonzalez, Cates, and Mannix from left to right across the infield. Gonzalez, Kraft, and Bell from left to right across the outfield with Tanner Graves behind the plate. The Blue Devils, Cole Dawson, Bosserman, Bard, Sanchez, Hutchison, Adams, Freeman, Carlin, and McHarg with Carlgren on the mound. Sunshiny day here in Coffeyville, Kansas. A beautiful field that I love to come down to. Dead center is 390. Down the lines are 330 with a beautiful metal fence out there, and the last warm-up throws have been made, so we're going to get ready to get this thing going. Dawson will step in for the Blue Devils. Dawson starts the day batting .394. He'll step in to face Fry as we get this thing going. Comes the first pitch of the game, and that's outside, ball one. 1-0 the count on Dawson. Comes the wind and the 1-0. There's a strike called inside part of the plate at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike as we get things going. Welcome to the broadcast. Want to remind anyone watching on YouTube to please subscribe, hit a thumbs up. There's a ball headed to the second baseman, and that's taken by Drew Cates on the line for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Bosserman. Bosserman starts the day batting .380. He'll step in to face Spry. Spry, the lefty, tall lefty on the mound for the Red Ravens. First pitch catches the inside corner. Bosserman, the second baseman, getting instruction from the umpire because Bosserman likes to get up and have his feet on the inside part of the plate. He has his toes actually on the other side, and what coach is going to tell him is as long as his feet are still touching that line and he's not crossing home base, but that may be something that he may not be able to win that argument. But coach will be very adamant about this, that as long as he is not in the strike zone, he's made him back up some, but nonetheless, here we go. There's a strike called outside corner at the knees, so quickly 0-2 the count on Bosserman. One and two the count.
For baseball here today, peak temperature will be about 66 degrees. Very, very nice. Got a slight breeze blowing out towards right field.
1-2 the count on Bosserman. There's a high ball headed to left center. Both chasing after it, and Kraft is going to take care of that for the second out of the inning. So Kraft, the center fielder, one of the things I noticed yesterday is that Kraft definitely does what a center fielder is supposed to do, is that he goes and gets any ball that he can, and he did so in that one as well. That's going to bring up Bard. Bard is number 3 in RBI in the entire league. He starts the day batting .376. There's a foul ball back to the screen. Bard has 41 RBI, the closest he is to. There's a strike called. So 0-2 the count on Brendan Bard. But his 41, the number one RBI getter in the league, both East and West, is Colby's Barcelo. Is Barton Sanchez with 50. So 1-2 the count now. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs on Brendan Bard. Foul ball back to the screen, so we'll do the 1-2 again. 2 down here in the early going top of the first action of this doubleheader down in Coffeyville, Kansas against the Coffeyville Community College Red Ravens. Here comes the pitch from Spry. And there's a little ball nubbed out in front. Going to be a tough play. And the second baseman with a great play. The second baseman, Drew Cates, picks the ball up with the glove, tosses with the glove, actually loses his glove for the out of the inning. So at the end of half an inning, there's no score. The Red Ravens coming up. Here we go to the bottom half of the first inning. Cooper Carlgren on the mound for the Blue Devils. He has a 9.82 ERA in 18 1/3 innings pitched. He's from Auburn, Kansas. Went to Washburn Rural High School. Righty on the mound. Defense behind him from left to right across the infield. Hutchison, Dawson, Bosserman, and Bard. Across the outfield, Freeman, Adams, McHarg. In right, Camden Carlin behind the plate, and Cooper Carlgren, the righty, on the mound. So that's going to bring up Gonzalez, Cates, and Carlberg. Orlando Gonzalez will step in. He starts the day batting .329, takes the first pitch, ball 1. 1-0 the count on Orlando Gonzalez, the shortstop. That's high and outside, ball 2. 2-0 the count now. Orlando Gonzalez. One of 3 Gonzalez names on the team. That misses just a little bit low. 3-0 the count. 3-0 the count. Comes the wind and the pitch from. There's a strike called. 3-1 the count. Comes the 3-1 pitch. There's a ground ball headed at Dawson. Dawson up with it and over to Bard for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Drew Cates. Cates starts the day batting .242. He's the second baseman. Made a great play on that little ground ball up on the grass. Comes up, grabs it with the glove, and tosses with the glove to get the out. Takes a strike 1 called on 1 the count on the second baseman, Drew Cates. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch. So quickly 0-2 the count from Carlgren. Carlgren fell behind the first hitter. Then he's been back to throwing strikes since then. Here comes the wind and the pitch. That's low and outside. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 out here in the bottom half of the first inning. Blue Devils 3 up, 3 down in their half of the inning. That misses just a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Appreciate those that are watching and listening today. Got a little bit of a radio broadcast going on as well as a live stream. Hopefully the live stream will work. There's a foul ball down the right field line and out of play. We'll do the 2-2 again. Comes the wind in the 2-2. Misses just a little bit outside. 3-2 the count. First game of the day is a 7-inning game. The second game would be a 9, barring extra innings of the first game. So 3-2 the count now. Here comes the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for a strikeout. So Cates goes down on swinging strikeout. That's going to bring up Carlgren, the third baseman. Carlgren starts the day batting .415. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Want to keep everyone reminded that if you're watching on the YouTube video and it gets to buffering too much, if you go to the website, there's a strike right through there. There is an audio-only button, and certainly you can go listen audio-wise and will be broadcasting there. There's a foul ball over to the third base dugout way out in front of that. So 0-2 the count now is Cooper Carlgren on the third baseman Quentin Carlberg from the Red Ravens. Wind in 0-2. Misses just a little bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Carlgren on the mound. Carlberg at the plate here. Just a strike 3 called. The breaking pitch as a fastball. They've been outside, and that breaking ball just caught a piece of it. So 2 strikeouts and a ground out. So at the end of 1, there's no score. I'll be back. All right, here we go to the top half of the second inning. Back for another inning of work is Christopher Spry. Scheduled up for the Blue Devils, Sanchez, Hutchison, and Adams. Scheduled up, Pablo Sanchez, the designated hitter. Sanchez starts the day batting .347. He'll step in to face the lefty, Christopher Spry. There's a ground ball, hit it into left field. So Sanchez with a base hit to left field, swinging on that first pitch.
He'll be aboard here with the
That's going to bring up Palmer Hutchison, the third baseman. Hutchison off to kind of a slow start for him, but he's batting .291 as he steps in. He'll step in with a leadoff hitter on after Sanchez with the designated hitter with the base hit.
291. Surprise first off.
There's a check swing fouled over the first base dugout. It's not the type of swing you want when there's no count. You want a bigger, better rip than that. But nonetheless, Owen won the count after that check swing foul ball.
Continues on into his second inning of work. Able to get the 1, 2, 3 in the top half. Now having that base runner to work around.
Here comes the 0-1. Curveball stays a little bit outside. One ball, one strike. Runner at first base is Sanchez. Sanchez being held by Jackson Mannix, the tall right-handed first baseman for the Red Ravens. There's a ball headed to right field. That's deep and get a little turned around, but he makes the play, does Jack Bell, and back to first base is Sanchez. So the first out of the top of the second inning. Got him turned around a little bit. The wind brought the ball back toward the foul line. That's going to bring up Caleb Adams, the center fielder. Adams starts the day batting .341. He'll step in with one out and a runner at first base to face Christopher Spry. There's a throw to first. Back in safely is Sanchez. Comes the first pitch. There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-1 the count. Adams, the center fielder. 0-1 the count. Creeping in, Carlberg. There's a throw over to first. Carlberg creeping in at third base, wondering about a bunt here. KCK known a lot for their bunting. They spend a lot of time. They like to run and they like to bunt. So here comes the 0-1. There's a ball headed to deep right field. On the run, going to take care of that is Jack Bell for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up Darius Freeman. Freeman will step in. He bats .382 as the day starts. He'll step in on the left-handed side, lefty versus lefty here.
He's a player who can get on base. .382. 26 hits, 68 at-bats.
In tight on the corner is Carlgren. Freeman bunts a bunch. There's a ground ball headed at the second baseman. Cates takes care of that over to Mannix for the third out. So the leadoff base hit goes for naught. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. We'll be back. To the bottom half of the second inning we go. No score. Gonzalez, Mannix, and Kraft scheduled up for the Red Ravens. Cooper Carlgren up for another inning of work. Gonzalez, the left fielder, he starts the day batting .364. He'll step in to face the righty Carlgren. First pitch, swing and a miss. So 0-1 the count. In tight on the count is Austin Gonzalez. He is the left fielder. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch on the inside port of the plate. So quickly 0-2 the count on Austin Gonzalez. Wind and a pitch. There's a line drive headed in left field. That's going to be a base hit. Can't get there, can Freeman. So that's going to be a leadoff hit for Austin Gonzalez. That's going to bring up Mannix. Mannix bats .345 at the beginning of the day. He'll step in with a runner at first base. And nobody out after that leadoff hit to left field by Austin Gonzalez. There's a swing and a miss of that first pitch to Mannix. 0-1 the count, no score as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Comes the pitch from Carlgren, squares to bunt, nicely blocked by Camden Carlin back there. I think the catchers probably prefer the natural dirt in front of them as opposed to the turf. Maybe not. Ball has a tendency to kind of scoot and stay down when it's on the turf. 1-1 strike, runner at first. Going to pitch, throw over, nothing going on over there. Want to welcome everybody on both platforms. Got the YouTube platform, hoping that the stream will stay working there. The connection goes from excellent to not so good and back. And those of you on MixLR, there's a ball fouled over the right field line and out of play. So 1-2 the count on Jackson Mannix, the first baseman. Hutchison, Dawson, Bosserman, Bard across the infield. Freeman, Adams, and McHard from left to right across the outfield. Camden Carlin behind the plate and Carlgren on the mound. That ball misses just a bit, so 2 balls and 2 strikes with nobody out here in the bottom half of the second inning. There's a strike called. The curveball just gets enough of the plate and called out on strikes. That's going to bring up Kraft. Kraft is the center fielder. Kraft will step in here. He bats 167 at the start of the day. He'll step in with 1 out and a runner at first base in Gonzalez. That's high and inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count on A.J. Kraft, the center fielder. He'll throw over to first, nothing going on over there. Carlgren over to Bard. Bard didn't even apply a tag there. Austin Gonzalez back in easily. Comes a 1-0. That's high and outside. Comparatively speaking, the strike zone a little tighter today than what we saw yesterday. Not good, not bad, not indifferent, just what we're seeing a little bit. So 2-0 the count. There's a strike. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner. 2-1 the count now with a runner at first and 1 out. Game 3 of the series. First 2 games went to the Blue Devils yesterday at KCK. There's a ground ball. Bard's going to And that's going to be, we'll see if that's scored as an error or a hit. We'll see how it's scored. He kind of slipped down. Then when he handled the ball, it got away from him just far enough. It's going to go as a hit. So a base hit moves the runner to second base, and that's going to bring up Tanner Graves. Graves starts the day batting .242. There's a foul ball back to the screen. So one out, runners at first and second. Gonzalez now at second in scoring position with one out for Tanner Graves, the catcher. Graves caught both games yesterday. Here comes the 0-1. There's a ground ball headed at Dawson. Dawson's going to go to second and back over to first for the double play. So a 6-4-3 double play ends the inning. We go to the top of the third with no score. All right, here we go to the top of the third inning. Blue Devils scheduled up to have Carlin, McHargan back to the top of the order in Dawson. Christopher Spry back for another inning of work. Both teams have had runners on with nobody out and failed to score any runs. So we go to the top of the third. Remember, the first game is a 7-inning scheduled game, and the second game is a 9. Welcome once again. I appreciate those of you listening. It's going to bring up Carlin. Carlin steps in to face Spry. That misses a little bit low. Carlin starts the day batting .200. He caught the first game yesterday. Buffington caught the second game. Here comes the 1-0 way inside. 2-0 the count on the catcher, Camden Carlin. 2-0 the count as he leads off the third. There's a strike right through there outside part of the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Spry to Carlin. Here comes the lefty's pitch. There's a foul ball backing out of play. So 2-0 and now 2-2. It's 2 straight balls and then 2 straight strikes. One of them fouled back and out of play. So 2-2 to the catcher, Camden Carlin. There's a ground ball headed to the first baseman. Backhanded by Mannix over there, and he steps on the plate for a 3 unassisted first out of the inning. That's going to bring up McHarg. McHarg played in the second game yesterday, came on defensively in the first game. McHarg is batting .294. He steps in on the left-handed side, lefty versus lefty. There's a high foul ball out of play down the right field line. So 0-1 the count.
Here's the 0-1.
That's down low, so 1 ball, 1 strike.
Does Coffeyville have anything like that today? Maybe. Nope. Excuse me. I'm actually wrong. We do. Jack Bell. And we'll see you next inning. 1-1 on the way now.
There's a pitch, breaks outside. 2-1 the count. McHard, the right fielder. Lefty versus lefty here. Comes the 2-1. There's a strike right through there. 2 balls, 2 strikes now on McHard. Blue Devils with 1 hit, no runs. The Red Ravens 2 hits and no runs. There's a ground ball foul down the first baseline. We'll do the 2-2 again. Beautiful sunshiny day in Coffeyville, Kansas. Comes the 2-2. Fades just a little bit low. Going to make it 3-2 the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Breeze blowing from left field across to right now. If you take a look at the flag for those of you that are watching, and there's another foul. So at least a 7-pitch at bat so far for McHard, the right fielder. Cole Dawson, he'll be up next. Back to the top of the order comes the 3-2. That's outside, ball 4. So a 1-out walk issued to McHard. Back to the top of the order to Dawson. Dawson lined out to the second baseman his last time up. Dawson is from Russellville, Arkansas. He'll step in. He'll step in with a runner at first and nobody out. There's a ball headed into left field, so there's a base hit to left field. So that's going to bring up Bosserman. Bosserman flew out to center field his last time up. Bosserman is from Oak Grove, Missouri, went to Green Valley High School. That seems a little bit odd because those are 2 teams that are in the MRVC West Conference, MRVC East. May have that both, but runners at first and second now with Bosserman at the plate. That's high and outside. 1-0 the count to the second baseman, Bosserman. McHard gets second, Dawson at first. Christopher Spry from Jinx, Oklahoma on the mound for the Red Ravens. Here comes the 1-0. There's a fly ball headed to deep right field. Headed back is Jack Bell. Bell's going to take that for the first out of the inning, and McHard moves over to third, so that's going to be 2 down with runners at the corners. That's going to bring up Brendan Bard. Bard, the first baseman. Bard is from Kansas City, Kansas. He went to Piper High School. He'll step in with runners at the corners and 2 outs. So each team with opportunities to score, and so far neither has been able to plate a run. Here comes Brendan Bard at the plate. There's a throw over to first. Nothing going on over there. Back in easily was Dawson. Two outs, runners at the corners. Check swing, and that was a little bit high. 1-0 the count. Coach Golbeck with some signs down at third base. 1-0 the count. There's a swing and a miss. So 1-1 the count now with 2 outs. Runners at the corners. Carlberg, Gonzalez, Cates, and Mannix across the infield left to right, with Gonzalez, Kraft, and Bell across the outfield left to right. Graves behind the plate. Christopher Spry on the mound. Here comes the 1-1. Strike called outside corner. That is a little bit wider of a strike than we've been getting from him, but nonetheless, 1-2 the count. Bard down in the count. Comes the pitch, runner goes. Bard sprays that one out of play, just making some contact there. Didn't want to go down on strikes. So 1-2 the count. We'll do it again. McHarg at third, Dawson at first. Comes the 1-2, got him picked off. Nobody covering second, so he moves down to second. Takes away the force up the middle, but that's all that does, so still 1-2. So now runners at second and third with 2 outs. They would have probably thrown across to first anyway. See if he can get something on the outfield gap here to score 2 instead of just 1. So we'll see. There's a high fly ball to right field. That ought to be taken care of by Jack Bell. Bell almost trips and falls down, it appeared, but no runs have been scored. So we go to the bottom half of the third. Still no score. We'll be back. All right, bottom of the third inning we go. I see that there might be a little buffering going on the web, on the live stream side there. It seems to be back, but we've got both platforms going. Platt, Bell, and back to the top of the order, Gonzalez. Cooper Carlgren back for another inning of work. Comes the first pitch. There's a swing and a miss. Platt starts the day batting .556. Only 5 games played. At bats, 9 is all. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball stays high and inside, way high and inside. 2-1 the count. Comes the 2-1. Strike called on the outside corner. That's that outside pitch that we didn't get early for either team. And the last full inning, he's called that from both sides. There's a foul out of play, so we'll do the 2-2 again.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for. Is it consistent? Is at least you know what to expect?
2 balls, 2 strikes.
You may have to adjust your expectations, but
There's a swing and a miss. Going to tag him after it in the dirt for the strikeout. That's going to bring up Jack Bell. That's going to bring up Bell. Bell starts the day batting .292. He'll step in to face Carlgren. Righty versus righty here. 1 out. Bottom of the third inning action. There's a strike right through there. 0-1 the count on the number 9 hitter, the right fielder, Jack Bell. There's another breaking ball right through there for strike 2 called. So quickly 0-2 the count is Jack Bell. Comes the 0-2 from Cooper Carlgren. There's a ball foul back to the screen, just hanging in there, staying alive is Bell. Again, it's a beautiful sunshiny day in Coffeyville, Kansas. The wind blowing from left to right. If you can see the flag for those watching the stream, that misses just a little bit low and outside. 1-2 the count. If that ball's not quite as low, he might get that call, but nonetheless. Comes the 1-2. There's a ground ball headed at Hutchison. That's going to go just foul. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Palmer Hutchison, the third baseman. Cole Dawson, the shortstop. Parker Bosserman, the second baseman. Brendan Bard, the first baseman. Left field, Darius Freeman. Caleb Adams in center field. Peyton McHarg in right field. Camden Carlin behind the plate. The defense behind Cooper Carlgren. So we'll do the 1-2 again. The number 9 hitter, the right fielder, Bell. There's another foul ball backing out of play. So a couple of 2-strike foul balls. We'll continue with 1-2 again.
No runs, 2 hits, no errors. KCK also no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Coffeyville trying to change that right here.
Comes the wind and the 1-2 pitch way outside. So we'll go 2-2 now.
Balls and 2 strikes. That's a long at bat. See if I can't get you the pitch count update.
2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So back-to-back strikeouts for Carlgren. So back to the top of the order, and Orlando Gonzalez comes up. He grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. Gonzalez is from Chitre, Panama. He'll step in. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. That's high and outside, ball 1. I see quite a lot of buffering going on with the live stream. It may be a good choice for you to just go listen to the audio only. Here comes the 1-0. There's a foul ball back to the screen. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs on the shortstop, Orlando Gonzalez. Just misses outside. 2-1 the count.
Orlando Gonzalez, righty sophomore, 6 feet tall from Panama.
Comes the wind and the pitch. There's a swing and 2-2 the count. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Both teams with 2 hits. A lot of 2s on the board, but also a lot of 0s. Comes the wind and the 2-2 outside. So the count goes full. There's a swing and a miss. So Carlgren strikes out the side here in the bottom of the third. We go to the top of the fourth. Each team's with 2 hits and no score. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the top of the fourth inning. Sanchez, Hutchison, and Adams scheduled up. Sanchez had a base hit his first time up. He's from Sidra, Puerto Rico. He'll step in. There's a strike called. Spry back for another inning of work. The foul ball backing out of play. Top of the fourth inning action. Get some updates going on here. There's fourth inning for you. There's a ground ball headed at the second baseman. That's going to be Cates up with it over to Mannix for a 4-3. 4-3 for the ground out. So that's going to bring up Palmer Hutchison. Hutchison is from Hays, Kansas. He's the third baseman. He flew out to right field his first time up. So ball one after that low and inside offering. Christopher Spry from Jinx, Oklahoma, lefty on the mound for the Red Ravens. There's a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out as the Blue Devils bat here in the top of the fourth inning. Still no score. There's a strike on the inside corner. So 1-2 the count on the third baseman, Palmer Hutchison. There's a high fly ball, but way foul. There's a ground ball right back at the pitcher. Spry's got it. Hustles part the way over to Mannix and tosses it to him for the second out of the inning. So that's going to bring up Caleb Adams, the center fielder. He flew out to right field his first time up. Adams is from Leavenworth, Kansas, went to Lansing High School. He steps in to face Spry with 2 outs. That looked pretty good to me, but it must have faded a little bit low. Ruled a ball, 1-0 the count. That's up high. 2-0 the count. Jinx, Oklahoma, very known for their football.
Yes. Didn't know that. Here's a swing up.
There's a fly ball to right field. A lot of work out there for Jack Bell today, and Bell steps back and takes care of that. So we go to the bottom half of the fourth. No score. Remember, the first game is a 7-inning game. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Carlgren back for another inning of work. Cates, Carlberg, and Austin Gonzalez scheduled up for the Red Ravens.
All set to get a look here.
Cates will step in. He struck out his first time up. Cates is from Fayetteville, Arkansas. He'll step in to face Carlgren. Carlgren struck out the side the last inning. There is a strike outside part of the plate right through there. So 0-1 the count
Fayetteville, Arkansas.
on Drew Cates, the second baseman. 0-1 the pitch. There's a swing and a miss, so quickly down in the count is Cates, 0-2. Carlgren throwing strikes here and getting ahead of the hitters. 0-2 the count.
0-2 count to Cates. Next pitch. Big
Pitch stays up high. Breaking pitch that stayed way up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the fourth inning action, half the way through this one.
Probably not a good thing.
Comes the 1-2. That's outside. So 2-2 the count on Drew Cates, the second baseman.
It is hard to go back. Very, very hard to go back.
Comes the wind and the 2-2. There's a swing and a strikeout. So 4 in a row. Last year, and I can't remember who the pitcher was, we had a pitcher that had, I can't believe it was 7 or 9 strikeouts in a row. So that's 4 in a row for him. That's going to bring up Carlgren, the second baseman. He was called out on strikes his first time up. Carlgren is from Lee Summit, Missouri. He steps in. That misses just a little bit outside. 1-0 the count.
Kansas City, Northwest Missouri. Another place I've been several times.
Comes the 1-0. There's a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out as the Red Ravens bat here in the bottom of the fourth inning. No score. Both teams with a couple of hits. Neither team with an error at this point. Here comes the 1-1. That's in the dirt, and a ball called for 2-1 the count.
On this Coffeyville roster. Might do that in my own spare time. We got 2-1. And now make that 3.
That misses just a bit.
Fastball outside.
So 3-1 the count.
Maybe someday.
3 balls in, a strike to Quentin Carlberg, the third baseman. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch. So 3-2 the count now on Carlberg. Carl Grin, the pitcher on the mound. Cooper Carlgren. Quentin Carlberg at the plate. There's a foul ball backing out of play. So we'll do the 3-2 again. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and an out. Quentin Carlberg at the plate. There's ball 4. So a 1-out walk. Carlberg with a foul there that got him an extra pitch. That's going to bring up Austin Gonzalez. Gonzalez is from Shawnee, Oklahoma. He'll step in on the left-handed side. He had a base hit to left field. He was down in the count with 2 strikes and slapped a base hit into left field along the line. Couldn't quite get to it, could Darius Freeman. So 1 out now, a runner at first base. That's a little bit low, 1-0 the count. So 4 strikeouts in a row was the most strikeouts he could string together. 1-0 the count, 1 out, 1 on. There's a throw over to first, back in safely was Carlberg. Barred with the tag, but not in time. Runner goes, got him picked off, and over to it, and he was safe at second base. So he has him picked off, but he doesn't get the play down to second, so a stolen base for Carlberg. So 2-0 the count. Runner now in second base is Carlberg after the walk and then the stolen base. Here comes the 2-0. There's a pop up over on the third base side. Can't find it in the sun, can Palmer Hutchison, and the catcher can't get there too far for him. So new life for Gonzalez, the left fielder. Sun looking up into that was Hutchison and could not find the ball, and it fell harmlessly as a strike over in front of the dugout by the Red Ravens. So 2-1 the count, runner at second base, 1 out. Carlgren on the mound, Austin Gonzalez at the plate. There's a fly ball headed out to center field. Adams over to take care of that. Gonna not be a tag and run, so now 2 outs after that fly out to center field to Caleb Adams. That's gonna bring up Jackson Mannix. Mannix was called out on strikes his last time up. Mannix is from Sydney, Australia. He'll be up there with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position at second base. He'll see if he can get a 2-out hit to get the Red Ravens on the ball. There's a ball hit at Bosserman. Bosserman up with it and over to Bard. So at the end of 4 full innings, 2 hits by each team, but no runs. We'll go to the top of the 5th. No score. All right, here we go to the top of the fifth inning. Still no score. Both pitchers have had leadoff hits against them, but still been able to keep the other team from scoring. Freeman, Carlin, and McHarg scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Christopher Spry back for another inning of work. Spry will face Freeman. Freeman grounded out to the second baseman his last time up. Freeman is from Kansas City, Kansas, went to Shawnee Mission Northwest High School. He'll step in as he leads off the top of the fifth for the Blue Devils. Lefty versus lefty. That ball's down and in the dirt. Tanner Graves behind the plate with the block. Inconsequential with nobody on. But nonetheless, he's done a good job these 2 days. There's a strike-breaking ball right across there for a strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike to Freeman. Freeman, the left fielder. There's a foul ball sprayed down the third base side, going to kick out into fair territory. Left fielder Austin Gonzalez will come retrieve that and toss it in.
Back here at Walter Johnson Park, a 1-2 count to play here to Darius Freeman. Again, apologies. Had some technical difficulties there. We're back.
Comes the wind and the 1-2. That's a little bit low. 2-2 the count to Freeman.
No runs for either side just yet. We are in a scoreless tie. Darius Freeman at the plate, 0 for 1 today. Grounded out to second.
Comes the wind and the 2-2 from Spry. Just a little bit inside. Far enough not to hit him, but not far enough to get that breaking pitch over the inside. So 3-2 the count. Comes the pitch. And there's ball 4 going hard to first. That's going to be the end of that. So Camden Carlin's going to be up. The leadoff hitter is on with the walk. We'll see if we play some small ball. Camden Carlin is from Lawrence, Kansas. He went to Lawrence Free State High School. He'll step in with nobody out and 1 on. He grounded out unassisted to the first baseman his first time up. Squares to bunt, takes a strike called. Pulls it back, but a strike called by the umpire. 0-1 the count. See if the bunt stays on. Throw over to first. Nothing going on over there. Jackson Mannix. Back to the pitcher and Spry. 0-1. Runner goes inside, so that's going to be a stolen base for Freeman. Was way inside, so it was not a good pitch for the catcher. Graves to handle was tough because it was way inside. Actually almost hit Carlin. So we'll see if the bunt stays on now with the runner at second base. I'm going to guess it's still going to be on, but we'll see. Fifth inning action, still no score by either team. Pulls it back and takes high.
That's exactly what Carlin is trying to do here.
So 2-1 the count now.
First couple times in the lineup, KCK has had no lack of fly balls. Get a runner over on third with 1 out. Assuming that sacrifice works. One of those fly balls.
2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Freeman walked and then stole second. Comes the pitch, and the bunt is going to be foul. So we'll see if they take the bunt off. Typically with 2 strikes you do, but you never know. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second base, nobody out. Spry on the mound trying to keep this game scoreless for the Red Ravens. Camden Carlin trying to get the Blue Devils closer or a run if he can get something on the outfield grass. Foul ball back and out of play, so we'll do the 2-2 again. Got the chest mask going on, but at least the bunt is considered to be out of play, not always. Still nobody out. Top of the 5th inning action. Comes the 2-2. Called strike 3, looked to be inside, but nonetheless a called strikeout. So Carlin down on strikes, called out on strikes. So that's going to bring up McHarg. McHarg is from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. So 1 out, runner at second base. McHarg walked his last time up. That misses just a little bit outside. Now the KCK faithful would say that pitch right there was the same pitch that he just called Carlin out on. 1-0 the count. 1 out. Freeman at second base after the walk and the stolen base. That pitch looked pretty good to me. He must have sailed just a little bit outside. So 2-0 the count now on the right fielder, Peyton McHarg. Comes the 2-0, and there's a strike called. So 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, 1 on at second base. See if McHarg can get something on the outfield grass to get that runner home to break this scoreless tie that we've got going on here. 7-inning game, top of the 5th. Here comes the pitch. There's a high fly ball to left field. Austin Gonzalez going over, fighting the sun. And now we're going to have a throw to third and the high throw. So the left fielder could not find it, as the third baseman for the Blue Devils could not find a pop-up. And it got caught in the sun's going to end up being a base hit for McHarg. So first and third with 1 out, back to the top of the order in Cole Dawson. You always hate that for a young man. I went to a high school game one time where a young man threw a 1-hit, 1-0 loss on a ball that got caught in the lights and he couldn't find it. So runners at second and third with 1 out, squares to bunt. The bunt is down, and the sack bunt by Cole Dawson gets the Blue Devils on the board with the sack bunt. So Dawson gets the run home. That's going to bring up Bosserman. Bosserman's been out in the air 2 times. That's inside. 1-0 the count. So the Blue Devils take a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 5th. There's another bunt. And he's going to say out. Coach is going to ask to be sure that he got back. But a nice play by the first baseman. I thought maybe Jackson pulled off, but I think he got back in time. So the Blue Devils get first blood here and bring one in on a squeeze play. They take a 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. I'll be back. All right, had a bug on the screen. Needed to go take care of that. Strike called on Kraft. That's high and inside. Be sure I've got the right batter. Yeah, A.J. Kraft. Kraft is from Rogersville, Missouri. That's outside and back to the screen. So the Blue Devils with the bunt game getting a run scored. They lead 1-0 here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Carlgren back to the mound for another inning of work. There's a strike called. So 2-2 the count. Kraft had a base hit off the glove of the first baseman his first time up. There's a check swing for a ball outside. 3-2 the count. So he hit one off the first baseman's glove for a base hit, his first at bat. That stays way up high, so a leadoff walk issued to Kraft. That's going to bring up Graves. Graves hit into a 6-4-3 double play his first time up. Graves will step in. Graves is from Roth, Oklahoma. He'll step in with nobody out and a runner at first base, with the Red Ravens trying to get this thing tied up after the Blue Devils pushed across one using the bunt in the top of the fifth. There's a throw over to first. Nothing going on over there. Bottom of the fifth action. Blue Devils lead by 1. There is an attempt and a strike on the attempt. So the Red Ravens looking to use a little bit of bunt game here to try and get this thing tied up. Hutchison in at the grass. Bard holding the runner. That's low and outside in the dirt. Backhand of that ball. 1-1 the count on Graves. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. 1 on at first base after that leadoff walk. There's the bunt and foul back, so we'll see again if the bunt stays off or on now with 2 strikes. 2 strikes and the worry of fouling it off for an out. Hutchison, Dawson, Bosserman, Bard across the infield. Freeman, Adams, and McHarg with Carlin behind the plate. Carlgren on the mound. That misses outside, so 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nobody out after the leadoff walk issued to A.J. Kraft, the center fielder. The catcher, Graves, at the plate. Pickoff attempt, nothing going on over there. Back in safely is Kraft. In the dirt, nicely blocked by Carlin. So 3-2 the count now. Three balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Runner at first. Blue Devils in the top of the fifth. Got a run off bunt. That's ball 4, so now back-to-back walks. That's going to bring up Quentin Platt. Platt is from Liberty, Missouri, up around my neck of the woods. So we'll get a visit to the mound by Carlin. Going to go out and visit with Carlgren a bit. We'll keep it right here for a second to see what's going to happen. Welcome, everyone. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe and or hit the thumbs up. Ring that notification bell, and it will let you know anytime we go live with Blue Devils baseball. So Carlgren in a bit of a pinch here with runners at first and second. The Blue Devils took a one-run lead off a safety squeeze bunt for the RBI from Cole Dawson, and it scored Freeman for the first run of the game. Now we're going to get Coach Goldbeck out. We'll see if any change is made. We'll be back. All right, here we go with a pitching change. Hunter Cachero brings his 1.46 ERA to the mound with 12 and a third innings pitched. He's from Shawnee, Kansas, went to St. James Academy. He will face Quentin Platt, the designated hitter. Platt will be up there with nobody out and runners at first and second. Platt struck out his first time up. He will step in and face Cachero as Cachero comes on to pitch. Going to try a little pickoff. Nothing going there. Trying to see if we could get Platt to tip his hand as to whether it was going to be a bunt or not. So Cachero on in relief. Nobody out. There's a bunt in the air off the glove of Cachero. Cachero is going to step on first and get the tag out for the double play. One. Wow, what a series of events there for the double play. The ball was in the air off Cachero's glove. Cachero grabs it, runs over, tags first, throws to second to Dawson for the 1-6 double play. That's up high, ball one. So now 2 outs. What an unusual set of events for the double play there. So Cachero with 2 outs now and a runner at third. There's a foul ball back and out of play. So 1 ball, 1 strike. So with 1 bunt from runners at first and second and nobody out to a runner at third with 2 outs. There's a foul ball backing out of play, and all the excitement. Jack Bell is from Andover, Kansas. He's up there now with 2 outs and a runner at third, and down in the count 1-2. See if Conchero can get out of this. It's a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Conchero comes on to take over for Carlgren. Comes the pitch and just stays alive. Does Bell. Bell struck out his last time up. Runner at third. The right fielder, Jack Bell, at the plate. Two and two on Bell with 2 outs. There's a line drive into right field, so an RBI base hit for Jack Bell with a 2-2 count. So that ties it up with that base hit into right field by Jack Bell. Ties it up. So back to the top of the order to Orlando Gonzalez. Gonzalez has grounded out and struck out. There the runner goes, and the throw is a little bit high, so a stolen base for Bell. That throw's not quite so high. He's got him, but a nice jump by Bell with the stolen base after the RBI base hit. So now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. There's a strike called, so 0-2 the count on Jack Bell. All tied up, both teams with a run here in the 5th inning. The Blue Devils with 1. The Red Ravens with 1 so far with an 0-2 count. Runner at second, 2 outs. And there's a swing and a miss. But the Red Ravens get an RBI, 2 out hit by Jack Bell to tie this thing up. We go to the top of the 6th, tied at 1. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the top half of the 6th inning. Both teams were able to push across 1 run in their halves of the 5th inning. So we go to the 6th. Bard, Sanchez, and Hutchison scheduled up. Bard has grounded out to the second baseman on a great charging play with the second baseman. Cates caught it with his glove, tossed it to Mannix at first, and then he flew out to right field. There's ball one to him. So Bard had a hit taken away from him by the second baseman, Cates, his first at bat. 1-0 the count. There's a line drive right at Orlando Gonzalez for the first out of the inning. So hit on a line, but right at the shortstop. Sanchez, the designated hitter, had a base hit his first time out and grounded out to the second baseman. Comes the pitch. Curveball stays up and out. 1-0 the count. Comes the 1-0. It's a high fly ball to left center. On the run is Gonzalez and Kraft. Kraft is underneath it for the fly out to center field. Sanchez, so far 1 for 3 on the day. That's going to bring up Palmer Hutchison. He's been out on a fly to right field and a ground out back to the pitcher. He'll step in with 2 outs and nobody on. Breaking pitch way across inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Spry through 5 2/3 of an inning so far. That's outside. Ball 2, not sure if he's being careful with Hutchison or if he's just having a little bit of a control time for a minute. We'll see. There's a strike called inside corner at the knees. So 2-1 the count. Way inside. From left to right, Carlberg, Gonzalez, Cates, and Mannix across the infield. Austin Gonzalez, Kraft, and Bell across the outfield. Graves behind the plate. There's a foul ball, so it'll be 3-2 the count now on Palmer Hutchison. That's the defense behind Spry. The Gonzalez at short and is Orlando and Austin Gonzalez in left. There's strike 3 called, looked awfully low, but nonetheless, strike 3 called. So we go to the bottom half of the 6th. We're still knotted up at 1. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning, tied up at 1, and I have failed to get the run out there for the Red Ravens. Get that taken care of. So Cachero back for his 2nd inning of work. He'll face Cates, Carlberg, and Austin Gonzalez. That is scheduled up for the Red Ravens. There's a swing and a miss of that first pitch. Cates has struck out twice so far. First at bat for him against Cachero.
It's Carlberg, Austin Gonzalez.
1-1 the count on Cates.
I'm not an umpire if you didn't know. 1 ball, 1 strike.
There's a foul ball, so quickly 1-2. Cachero to Cates.
1 ball and 2 strikes.
Be reminded, first game is a scheduled 7-inning game.
Right-handed batter, righty versus righty matchup.
Comes the 1-2. Misses just a little bit outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes as Cates leads off the bottom half of the 6th inning for the Red Ravens. There's a foul ball sprayed out of bounds down the right field line. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count.
We are all tied up. Next 2-2 pitch. Another ground ball sent down the first base line.
Another foul down the first base line. 2 balls, 2 strikes, all knotted up at 1 here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Comes the 2-2. That is low. 3-2 the count. I contend that on the inside corner, that's a strike. Outside corner is harder to see. Here comes the 3-2, and that is too low. So a leadoff walk is the go-ahead run at first base. That's going to bring up Quentin Carlberg. Carlberg has been called out on strikes, walked, and a stolen base. So Bard holds the runner, Cates at first. The third baseman, Quentin Carlberg, steps in. There's a throw over to first. Nothing going on over there. 1-1 tie here in the bottom of the 6th. Another throw over, safe again. Bard holding the runner at first. Carlberg steps in. There's a ground ball at Dawson. Dawson to Bosserman, over to Bard for the 6-4-3 double play. So 6-4-3, that's going to bring up Austin Gonzalez. Gonzalez had a base hit into left field and a fly out to center field. He'll step in with 2 outs now. Cachero gets the 6-4-3 double play. That's inside 1-0 the count on Austin Gonzalez. Comes the 1-0. Misses just a little bit low. 2-0 the count. There's a base hit into right field. So Austin Gonzalez with a 2-hit game. So that's going to bring up Mannix. Mannix has been called out on strikes and grounded out to the second baseman. We're going to get a pinch runner here. Colby Adams from Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, is going to pinch run. Colby Adams into pinch run. He'll run after the base hit by Austin Gonzalez. Mannix will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first. The go-ahead run is at first base. Bard will hold him. Cachero on in relief of Carlgren. There's a throw over back in safely is Adams. Another throw over to first.
Checking all that pinch runner. He's obviously in there for a reason. We continue to wait the first pitch to Mannix. Don't normally bring in a slower player to pinch run. That's all I'm saying. Here's the first offering, Jackson Mannix.
And fouls that back.
Piece of it. Fouls it off. We'll go 0-1. Mannix 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. Another pickoff throw again.
Adams with one stolen base
Outs in the inning. And lead off
so far this year. 0-1 the count on Mannix.
Gonzalez.
Pitch out.
Side. We'll go 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Go ahead run at first base. The pinch runner Adams, who came in to pinch run for Austin Gonzalez after the 2-out hit.
Game about an hour and 40 minutes old. Pickoff.
Another throw back and over.
Continuing to test Adams out.
Nothing going on.
It's a very important base runner. He has the endurance to do that.
1-1 the count. We're all tied up at 1.
Coffeyville manages to find a way to bring him around. Here is that 1-1 offering to Mannix.
There's a foul ball down the right field side. That's going to be foul.
We'll go 1-2. Mannix at the plate.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first base, the pinch runner Colby Adams. Comes the stretch and the 1-2 from Adams. There's a ground ball into right field.
That's it. Adams get around second. He's going to go all the way to third.
So runners at first and third now after that base hit. The runner off with the pitch. I don't know that Bosserman could have gotten to that because it was pretty well placed into right field. But he was still breaking towards second. I'm not sure that he would have gotten back to that. But runners at first and third. So now the go-ahead run only 90 feet away. And A.J. Kraft comes in. He's had a base hit off the first baseman's glove and a walk. He'll step in to face Cacheros. He tries to keep this thing tied to get it to the 7th inning. That's inside. The runner goes to second. They're going to throw and he can't get the ball. The ball gets away, so the run scores. So the runner heads for second. The throw goes down. The throw coming back from Cole Dawson is a little bit low and couldn't be handled. So the Red Ravens steal a run, so to speak, to take the 2-1 lead. So a runner at second base. So the ball gets away from Carlin and on the tag. Otherwise, it was there in time, a little bit low. So the runner now at second base. And a strike called. 1 ball and 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here. So the Red Ravens have taken a 2-1 lead. There's a strike called. So 1-2 the count on A.J. Kraft. So with runners at first and third, the runner takes off for second, and the throw goes down to second, and the return throw that comes back was not able to be handled by Camden Carlgren, so the go-ahead run is scored. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A.J. Kraft at the plate.
2-2 now.
There's a foul ball backing out of play. So we'll do the 2-2 again. I believe you're right that he kind of has that other finger that sticks up there, but I believe that it's 1-2. That pinky kind of gets up in the way there and makes it look like 2-2.
2 strikes. 2 outs. Runner over on second.
There's a foul ball backing out of play. So we'll do the 1-2 again.
Go ahead and do 1 ball, 2 strikes again. See it now.
1-2 the count.
Kind of focus in on that one. Next 2 strikes.
Breaking pitch.
Now we'll go 2-2.
Now we'll get 2-2. You're right about that.
Even the line score 2-2 again. In theory, I think we're all doing a little bit there. So it is 2-2. Technique down, umpire.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's another foul ball over the first base side and out of play. So we'll be the 2-2 again. A.J. Kraft in a battle with Cachero here to try and get the Red Ravens up 2 instead of 1. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs.
Here comes a 2-strike pitch once again. Swung on.
Ground ball right back at Cachero. Cachero over to Bard. But the damage is done, and the Red Ravens take a 2-1 lead. We go to the top of the 7th. The Blue Devils need 1 to keep this thing going. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the top half of the 7th. Blue Devils trailing 2-1 as both teams score 1 in their halves of the 5th, but the Red Ravens push 1 across with runners at first and third with 2 outs. The runner takes off, throw goes to second. Return Cole throw from Dawson could not be handled, therefore allowing the run to score. And when I say allowing the run to score, I'm not saying that is Carlin's fault. I'm just saying that not being able to hold on, that run is scored. Now the Blue Devils have 3 outs to try and get this game tied up to keep it going. Spry back for another inning of work. Adams, Freeman, and Carlin scheduled up for the Blue Devils. Adams has been out on flies to right field both times. Jack Bell has taken care of those flies by him. That ball is outside for 1-0 the count.
2 strikeouts, 2 walks.
So here comes the 1-0. That's a strike right through there inside part of the plate at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Beautiful day for baseball here in Coffeyville, Kansas. There's a strike called on the outside corner, so 1-2 the count with Caleb Adams. There's a foul ball back to the screen.
The one mistake for Coffeyville has been that ball lost up in the sun. Fortunately for Coffeyville, that did end up leading to a run. Kind of a roundabout way, not on that play specifically. I guess it's kind of a what-if situation on that one.
Here comes the pitch. That's up high. So 2-2 the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out as Adams leads off the top of the 7th for the Blue Devils. And there's a hit by pitch. So that's going to put a runner at first base. The tying run is at first now, and Darius Freeman will come out. Freeman has grounded out to second base, walked, and has a stolen base. He'll step in. I think I saw a nickel on the floor. I'm willing to bet that against radio next to me and the scorekeeper that we get a bunt here. We'll see. Pulls it back and takes high. Does that mean I win the nickel, men? Or does he have to get the bunt down? So he squares to bunt, 1-0 the count. In tight on the corner is Carlberg. Throw over to first, nothing going on over there. Nothing better than a Saturday afternoon baseball game for a chess game going on with the coaches. There's a strike called. Coming very, very hard at third base is Carlberg. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Now throw back over to first. Nothing going on over there. Mannix takes the ball out of his glove, reaches back, tags the leg as the runner standing on the base. Adams with the hit by pitch with 2 strikes on him, big. There's a foul ball back to the screen. Carlberg steps back to the edge of the grass with the 2 strike count, and therefore a less chance for the bunt. 1-2 the count. Going to throw to first, see if he was tip his hat on. Rather, he was going to go ahead and bunt even with 2 strikes. Runner goes, got him picked off, and he is out at second base. Coach is going to go out and argue this. It'll be much to dismay because he's not going to make a change on that. I feel like it was very, very close, but he's going to be ruled out, and that's not going to probably be changed. Coach's argument will be for not. So picked off and off with the pitch was Caleb Adams, and the return throw to the shortstop from Mannix to Orlando Gonzalez for the out. So caught stealing there is very, very big. So now 1-2 the count on Freeman with 1 out. Way outside, so 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 1 out. Caught stealing after the hit by pitch was Caleb Adams. Comes the 2-2. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball started out at him and gets back to the strike zone and called out on strikes. So the Blue Devils down to their last
Down to their final out.
out here. We're going to have a pinch hitter. This is going to be Matt Buffington.
For Carlin.
Matt Buffington, the platoon catcher, is going to
Matthew Buffington.
hit. He's from Andover, Kansas, went to Andover Central High School.
Carlin.
Buffington starts the day batting .347. He'll step in
Andover, Kansas.
with the opportunity to keep this thing going for the Blue Devils.
47. On the year, 17 hits, 49 at bats, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 3 home runs. Can he get his first look here in a huge situation?
So Buffington steps in with 2 outs. There's a swing and a miss of that first pitch. So Buffington on the pinch hit for Carlin. 0-1 the count.
The 0-1 delivery now.
That misses outside, so 1 ball and 1 strike.
1-1 here. And to the right-handed batting catcher, Matthew Buffington. 1-1 now. Swung on high fly ball out to
High
the
fly
left.
ball to left
Who's got it out there? Gonzalez
field
back on it,
and
he will
falls away, and the shortstop Gonzalez takes care of it. So the winning streak is set down 2-1 by the Red Ravens. In the first loss, they had a 14-game win streak, and the Blue Devils lose the first one today 2-1. We will take about a 20-minute break. We'll be back for the second one. Thanks for watching and or listening. We'll be back in about 20. Thank you.